I would just add to that, Diane, because that's a really important point, that many of our award applicants, including those that are doing just spectacular jobs and winning these awards, say that, yes, the award is nice, but the real value that came out of it was the process they went through, and they learned more about their organization, where their strengths are they could build on, where the areas they could develop further, and what they gained from that experience was where the real value came from.
Well, in politics, we hear people say, don't let the perfect stand in the way of the good. And so I hear the message today is to get going, you know, to kind of begin where you are and grow on that. And that's how you get to achieve what Tallahassee Memorial has done. You started out and isolated what you were already doing and where you needed to make improvements. And it really has been quite an achievement.
Right, and we certainly have more achievements ahead. I don't think any of us we're proud of where we're at, but the job is never finished, and so we continue to strive for excellence.
And I think that that's one of the greatest things about Tallahassee Memorial is they truly understand that this is a constantly evolving process. And that's what I think APA and FPA want for the awards process to be. It's a constant evolvement to help companies and organizations throughout the state, throughout the nation, continue to build on that.
I've been impressed when we were preparing for this program talking to one of your vice presidents, Warren Jones, who is a yogi, in fact. So I think that's a good sign of emanating from on high. You're having people with a mind, body, spirit, a mind, body, spirit evaluation, and that's wonderful to hear. And we'll move on. Well, we won't tell about his yoga injury. We had a few more questions for you, Malvina, also, and then I think we're going to take some from people who have been on our live chat and have some questions. But I wondered if you could tell us as an organization where you go from here a little bit, and how from this, you've won the award, and what are you doing now? I mean, you've sort of spoke to this, not resting on your laurels, but are there other things that you'll be doing from, or is it just continuing the sort of spirit?
Personally, as someone who helped apply for the award, I think where we go from here is to continue with the things that we've already in place. And we continue to survey our employees on a very regular basis about their satisfaction with working at TMH. And that's an ongoing process.
Right. That survey will take place in December and January of 2011. We last time had about a 90% participation rate and
really?
beat the medians on all of the responses, so we're very happy with that now. We're hoping for the same type of outcome this year. The other thing that we do is we continue to work on those things that need work. Again, we're not perfect, and no organization is, but I think a good thing about this organization is we realize those areas that may be in need of development, and our CEO is extremely supportive and in fact pushes us to enhance the work life of our staff. And so not only do we all have our own motivation to do that, but when we've got the support and push from the CEO, it makes it all that much better and easier to do.
We have some questions. This is a live chat. We're getting questions from around the country. And so we would like to know from Malvina, pardon me, this is one of the questions directed to you from one of the people in the audience is, how does this program, how does the EAP fit into the equation?
I'm a little biased, but
employee assistance.
I think we are critical to part of the pieces for a psychologically healthy workplace. And for those folks who may not know what one is, we're talking about an employee assistance program, which is a program set up by employers that provides confidential assistance to employees and family members about all kinds of personal problems. And because we have that program at TMH, and many other employers also have some form of an EAP, but it's an employer-based way of saying to employees, we care about you and we want to help you with your personal concerns.
Right.
And oftentimes through helping the colleagues of our organization and their immediate family members, then if they can address their personal issues, then their performance issues are improved as well.
Right.
So we see that running in tandem. The other thing that Malvina and our EAP do is work very closely with our leadership group when there is a leader who has a colleague that has visited the EAP. So there's a real strong relationship between the leadership, staff, and our EAP. And, you know, we talked about the values of this organization being the I-CARE values, which stand for integrity, compassion, accountability, respect, and excellence. And our EAP provides us with the compassion. It really shows and demonstrates the compassion that we have for our colleagues.
I know Tallahassee Memorial is a healthcare organization, and this is such a natural extension of everything you do for physical well-being of people, of course. But we know that a lot of businesses and organizations can do this who are in all kinds of other areas of work and community service. I know we have some questions that were coming in from folks. Would you like to try to answer some of those questions that we've received from the live chat? I don't know if there are. I think we have heard from quite a few people around the country who are interested in trying this themselves. And David and Diane, you might be able to answer some of these as well. In fact, we have one for David. We have one for you.
Sure.
From one of our viewers who said, how do you create a work-life balance in all facets of the organization, especially when the job requirements for some necessitate a physical presence and others do not? How do you create a work-life balance?
Well, I would say with any of the 5 areas of practices that constitute a psychologically healthy workplace, the first step is to assess the actual needs of the employees and then craft programs, policies to meet those needs. Every organization is going to be different, so while it's great to look around at other organizations and see what's working, it's wise not to assume that what works in one company is necessarily going to work in yours. So the first step, in my opinion, with work life or any of the other areas is to really assess what the employees in your particular workplace need and what's a good fit for the organization, and then put together something that meets that. Work life and flexible work policies really are an acknowledgement that employees have responsibilities and lives outside of work, and helping them meet these often competing demands. We know that conflict between work and other responsibilities can take away from the quality of your work life and your experience at home and with your family, and that affects organizational outcomes. So productivity goes down, people are absent more often, there's more turnover. There are a lot of different things that can be done in terms of work-life practices, and that might be flexible work arrangements like flex time and telecommuting, but like you said, some people have to physically be present, so it doesn't fit every individual or every job.
So you look at the employee, whether they're working on a remote location and maybe have isolation issues, or whether they're physically present. It's a look at the employees and really what they're saying about the stresses.
You might find that what they're concerned about in terms of work life is help with child care resources or elder care benefits, or helping them learn to manage their financial issues better. And without really tapping in and assessing those needs, you wouldn't know that.